Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go. 180. Right there, 54 Mike. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And New York set to take the field.
Here we go. 120. 27. Time to go. Night. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Bell.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And this will be taken at the 13. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking for Campbell downfield. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Garoppolo. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They'll set up to throw. Looking deep downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. The numbers for Howard a week ago, 6 catches, 63 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Here we go.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The Jets on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Grant on the return. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. That's caught by Howard. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out through.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Josh Lambo now for the point after.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This one fielded at the 5. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now in second quarter he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that, he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown.
He's got a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception. But he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
Well, now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. And I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him. And they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Looking for Campbell downfield. And it's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got... I think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From the 38, Garoppolo. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Taco Charlton able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I know there will be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he finds Howard complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's it, baby.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Let's go now. 10-2
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Back to throw here.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
90 Wolf.
He'll look to throw. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Going for it all. And he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
5 plays there on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Garoppolo. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo, he gets this one to Boyd. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 32-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one out for a really good strike. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Duke Dawson picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. He finds his target, Fuller. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They're going to look to throw. will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Bell. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays out.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there, and Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in a running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Now a carry from Mack. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll look to throw here. He completes this one to Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped, and it's scooped up by the Jets. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo, and they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Caught here by Bell. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now they try the right side here. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this third step.
Let's go. Let's go.
A gain of 8 and a first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
You ready?
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
8 Drop in. 5.
They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Dancing to his left. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The kick by Joseph is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense down by 7. 1:51 on the clock. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. They'll look to throw, and Thomas has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Clock running here under 90 seconds to go. Garoppolo to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go! 70, Indy.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. This is Mack on the counter. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. But, Charles, a 1-score game. Down to the end we went. They had 1 final play in that 1-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.